Hello, I'm Louise, this is Kalina.
Hi.
And we're gonna share our project called Britpop, a story. So, every meaningful piece of history is starting as a consequence of something before it. This is how basically history works, how politics works, how evolution works. So what led to tonight's topic, Britpop? It all started with some pretty bad and sad historical events and some pretty bad political decisions. I'm sure all of you know a lot about the Iron Lady, such a logical but cold and cruel leader trying her best to save the Great Britain. Well, she wasn't right. There is always an alternative. So all of this made the British people feeling not so great, but rather hopeless and pretty angry. And what can we expect from a nation so poor and so poisoned from years of suppression? Either massive riots and violence or sublimation through art. And this is exactly what British people did back then. So, yeah, they showed their problems, but also their true potential to the world, like the journalist did, who invented just one word to describe all of this massive cultural renaissance called Britpop. So we have Britpop everywhere, in politics thanks to Tony Blair and Cool Britannia, in music with Blur, Pope, Oasis, Suede and millions more. That were the young British artists, Trainspotting by Irving Welsh. So yeah, Britpop is everywhere. It's even in Bulgaria. Britpop is definitely in me. I think there is some Britpop in you even, I bet. So what's not easily to find these days is someone who is willing to tell you these stories in a non-boring way. So I'd like to be this person for you and show you that history can be interesting, engaging, exciting, sexy even. We will see about that. So, yeah, Britpop is much more than music and parkas. Britpop is way of life. Britpop is my favorite style of living. Britpop is community and family, which only grows every single day. And you know, the letter B is quite special for Bulgaria lately. We just won the Eurovision with Bangaranga. We almost won the Booker Prize. But let me remind you that tonight B stands for Britpop. And now I'm giving the word and the floor to my brilliant illustrator, Kalina Hristova, who will tell you more about the illustrations of my book over there.
Thank you, Louise. Louise brings the history of Britpop to life, but my challenge was to give that history a face. It wasn't easy, I need to say, but let me start from the beginning. Just from the beginning, Louise just have a clear vision of what she wants to have in the book, which is not very pleasant sometimes for an artist which wants to feel very independent in the creative process. But anyway, we started with a long 9 hours conversations, a lot of sketches I did. You need to be sure that there are a lot of other illustrations outside the book. And all those long hours were garnished with awesome British Britpop music. I will always remember those nights because it was such a pleasant and collaborative, great time spent with Louise. And good things needs time. And that's why I decided to make my illustration by hand. We live in an era of fast art and fleeting digital trends, but I had to find the courage to step outside those trends. That's why I decided to make the illustration exactly by hand. I did it with ink, classical way. Of course, I digitalized them after, but I really enjoy the process, because I really appreciate to do something more. And it's very special when you find the right people to do it. And I decided also to make a bunch of postcards and stickers for the book of Louise. And I use some of the illustration from the book to create all those designs again, just making something more for the book. And I'm very grateful for to my colleague Damian Damianov, with which we are working together in New Bulgarian University, because he helped me with the calligraphy of the headline of the book. I'm not good in it, but we, three of us, we have such a fun in the designing process and making an illustration, and this is maybe the most important thing and the most favorite part of the creative process of making this book. Of course, printing process was long. It was very unpleasant, but we don't look back in anger, as Oasis are saying it, because we did it. We did it. We had the book in our hands. And I want to finish with something like a conclusion. If you want to make something good, you need just another bunch of people, creative ones or just good ones, to share and spare and dream, create, inspire, but always together.